it should. We're going to have a disbursement committee of 5 people, which I do know very well and I've done very well for the community. And these 5 people, it's called the disbursement committee, and they will be the people that would receive the money.
Respond. Now, people will never see me for this live. People will not know me. Now, them respond. I can put up, say, yes, I see people like you and other people, Choki, all of them, at least they responded with them. They call me, they interview me. But these 200 million, when I see, when I hear, and they see from social media, it surprise me. If person like me, where the popular person where they know, person like me where they know, nobody fit do anything. Now people orphanage where they don't know from anywhere, now they give 250 million. It's so funny. Look, I will advise Nigerians and black people, we will wise up. We will stop all these things. We will stop them. Because see, Oyibo people know they do all these things, so they know they do them at all. All waiting what they do, they look so funny. Not be say, I say make them give money to orphanage na bad thing, no, because I don't be ambassador to an NGO. And this NGO, I know they call it 1 naira. But funny enough, when I get depressed, get that problem, the NGO self no respond. You see waiting how black man sense be, you see how it be. Now I see 200 million, then they post them everywhere. See the video want to they give money to orphanage. They get 5-man committee to distribute that money. Everything sounds funny to me. To me, if I see people they do good, I appreciate them. Not because I say a bad thing, but I did want to ask people, say, person like me, we cry out. When people know, we cry out. They not feel help the person where they know. Now people where they not know, where we not they see their face. Now then they help out with 250 million. What would they think?
Welcome back. I know you just saw that video and you're like, well done. I'm also really in awe of what it takes someone with a huge heart to do that. But we saw the flip side of this situation where Baba Frayo, if you know that the Shoki, you will know that Baba Frayo, these are people that were singing when I was still in, secondary school, I guess, coming to, show his grievances that he needed money, nobody helped him, but then you can give money to charity, orphanage home.
Let's even say how much Davido realized from that joke.
201
million naira.
And then he added,
that's what he realized,
million.
and then he added 50 million.
So 251.
And then of course there were speculations that he was going to give it back because in his normal way, he's a giver. But then the flip side.
The flip side, I think it's a two-way thing.
Yeah.
I'm seeing entitlement there.
It's a two-way thing.
And then I'm seeing, when you think people are obligated to you in a certain way.
Okay.
In my own opinion, this is David's money. He has
whatever.
This is a give and take thing. If I'm going to invest in you, maybe I will give because I'm a giver, but at the same time, there must be something you must have done for me. You don't know relationship. Even as a human being, it's really somehow when somebody has not reached out to you before, and then all of a sudden, you now reach out to me. I am not entitled to you. And you don't know, these celebrities too have their own financial problems. They might not actually say it. So I think Baba Frayo coming out to say this thing, I remember he's also an ambassador for
an NGO.
An NGO. So if this NGO could not help him, I'm thinking, what happened to your money?
Exactly.
How did you get?
No. That's where I was coming into.
Okay.
We've seen a lot of Nigerian celebrities. In fact, not just Nigerian celebrities, home and abroad. People who came into money, saw good money, and all of a sudden, in the flip of a finger, they're off the market. They're broke, and you begin to hear them coming up to start begging people for money. So, what happened to investing that money when you had the money? What happened to utilizing it properly and planning for the future?
Yeah.
So, I believe if Baba Frayo had planned effectively responsibly with the money he had. I mean, being an NGO ambassador, that's good money. I mean, we're seeing the money flying around these days. So what did you do with that money that you're now coming to attack somebody else?
I think another perspective I'd like to throw in there is that, just like Francis has said, I think people who are in positions of power and influence should find a system of investing their finances.
Exactly.
Whether they do it as, the corporations where people work and they have like Osusu, come together and have an agreement, maybe a company that helps you invest your money. Because we have too many stories of broke people after all.
No, broke celebrities.
Celebrities
yes,
we get.
Broke celebrities.
But that's one. Another perspective that I'd like to put out, agreed that Baba Frayo might have been feeling entitled to another person's money.
Yeah.
But I think another thing that is important in the industry is watching out for each other.
Yeah.
We are all in this business together. At one time or the other, not because it's your fault, but I think if you can have the other person's back, we will have a stronger front as an industry. Yeah. And then we will have more legacies to leave on for the people who are coming, because just like you said, Baba Fayo is of like the first generation of artists, and then this is like a second generation. So we have issues of like patrons. So what if something goes wrong with our patron? Can't we help?
I also feel it's a two-way thing. If you look at Davido, his system and how he operates, he has always been a giver. With the 30 billion gang members, he has always invested in them. Yeah. So imagine carrying that kind of financial burden always. And then it's very easy for everybody. Do you know how people ask this person for money?
Every
so it might
day,
not even be a deliberate thing that he deliberately says, I was not going to do this.
You know what? It might not even have come to Davido's table. That's
and
another
then
thing.
It was a tag on social media. People should understand that
they don't manage these things. People manage it.
There's a possibility he didn't even see that tag.
True.
So I feel like if you want to do something, do it the right way. Did you have an appointment with this person? Did you offer to see this person? Don't come on social media and say, oh, I tagged you on a post to help me, and you saw it and you did not.
There's really no need to blast.
Well,
but I think for me, that goes beyond Davido. I just think it's because in recent times you have pictures of several celebrities who are ill, and then they've not been able to take care of themselves.
They're always
because
coming
of
out to
money
ask for help
and all of that. I just think the Guild of Actors and all of that,
Guilds of Nigeria,
they can
and all
always work something out.
Well, that's something everybody is talking about, but this trend of people in the industry always coming out to ask for money on the social media and sometimes not getting help, and then they end up being bitter and angry at everybody and with everyone. It's really something that needs to be looked into. But I would say what Davido has done is a very big job for me. Yeah. He has done so tremendously
and he gave back everything
plus his own personal money.
Own 50 million.
To all the orphanages around the country. That's just going to help thousands of lives.
In another way, I'm seeing it like David. David is always out there. It could be a thing of he's a nice person, but then my brain is just telling me something. What if this boy doesn't want to say it? Because people can be very funny. Yeah. One day, one online argument to pop up and someone would say, after I sent you money.
Oh, that's
so
true.
it could be another angle of David saying, okay, fine, you guys gave me, but you see, I gave you all out. I think that's a smart one for them. The industry will come back at you. People are
some people. Yeah, I remember some people have already said, I wanted to transfer. There was a case of somebody wanted to transfer 70,000 and ended up transferring 700,000.
Exactly.
And then they're
so I feel David doesn't want to give room for. Doesn't want to give room
funny part of this story, yeah. So we had a colleague on our way home that day.
I remember.
Who sent? Was it 100 naira she sent? It was such a buzz on our way home.
It was such a buzz. And another angle is that we are the ones who see these celebrities and feel like they have so much money. When you look into the industry, there's a whole lot of life they have to keep up with. They might be earning, but then you have this appearance you have to keep up with, and that takes a lot of
and something I watched, their jobs are like contract jobs. So the money is not always on a steady flow. So it comes when they have jobs and all of that.
If you notice, even last year at COVID, a lot of celebrities didn't have money because shows were not going on. Everything was at standstill. Nobody had any money. So if you did not have savings or investment throughout 2020, it was crazy for them.
And presently, the report has it that most celebrities, most artists, especially those who were professional artists and didn't have any other job by the sideline, are broke. 1 out of 10 or 3 out of 10 of them are no longer earning at all. And some of them who are still earning are earning probably like 50 to
way
70%
lesser than what
they used to earn before the COVID-19 saga. So it needs for proper planning, proper investment, proper business sense as an artist. I mean, we've been saying, don't just do singing. I mean, don't just sing, don't just be an artist. Also invest that money that you're making to something that can start. I mean, there's real estate. There are lots of things you can invest your money.
This was a real case. It was a real case. Anyway, let's not, so that we don't try to just, try to manage their money for them already.
Don't worry, you can actually consult me for money management issues.
You get it.
That's in-house. Manage our own.
So that we will not
after this, we can talk about the money management.
Look at this. Right. We can talk about money management.
But then, this, just before we wrap up on this particular gist, but me, I was wondering, okay, so after this now, other people will have the mind to go to social media and try this stunt. You safe. You didn't originally think about it.
My 1K, you shall not say it.
I don't get.
My 1K, you will not say it. I think after that, we also saw Peter and Paul come in, and then they did the same thing.
Yes, they did the same thing.
I beg, it's going to be dry.
I think that one was just a joke, actually, for me. My thoughts. I think they were just
I beg, let's just leave all those things. Okay, then. We're going to go on a quick musical break. Shake it up a little bit, and when we return, it's still Rise and Shine Saturday. Do stay with us.
Stay with us, people.
Stay with us. And so that was Born to Win by Timaya. I mean, every one of us was born to win, but you just got to believe in yourself. It's still Rise and Shine Saturday on Spectrum TV, and the gist is getting on hot. I mean, before we went on that show music break, we were talking about Davido and all the drama about his semi-urgent 1 million naira, and actually escalated into 201 million, and then eventually he gave it all away with an additional 50 million naira, making it 251 million naira. All right, so away from that, at this point, we're going to talk about something that has always been on my mind as far as celebrities are concerned.
The life out of my mind.
I think while growing up, that used to actually be one of my major issues, especially in my family. They were like, okay, you want to be a celebrity, you want to be a singer, you want to be on the screen. I mean, how are you going to manage with the drama that happens around marriages and relationships in the celebrity world?
Wow.
And then that takes us to the question, celebrity marriages. Why so much drama? Why so much divorce? Why so much breakup? I mean, Aaron, why is it?
Well, I feel the industry is a crazy place. Life itself is crazy, and then being in an industry that is drama-filled back to back. And then the work is very different. It's going to take someone who is either in the business or someone who understands your work. And on our right here, I was telling AI that as a normal human being, you evolve. The things you used to like, you don't like them anymore. So if you're not with someone who is as open-minded as you are, you know, the whole kissing scenes, romantic scenes on TV. If you're not with someone who is as open-minded as you are, my brother, hey!
But don't you think those are things that these celebrities, especially the women, let me be specific, especially the women, ought to have thought about before even venturing into a relationship with a man? I mean, like, you have to discuss those things and get to know the mindset of the man involved.
That's why I say people change, Francis.
People change.
It's fine to be, when I was 5 years ago, there are a lot of things I didn't like. There are a lot of things I wasn't open-minded to. But as time went on, I became open-minded to those things, and there were a lot of things that my mind was like, nah, can never happen. So it's very easy for me to talk to you and be like, oh, babe, this is how it's going to be. I'm going to be on set back to back every week. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing that. And you're like, it's fine. Until one day I have to be on set for 2 weeks back to back. Or I come home 2 a.m. I don't have time to make you meals. I don't spend time with you. You call me, babe, I can't take I'm in a meeting. I have to read my script. You get? Yeah. And then you now realize that this life it's not for me.
You know that I think the expectation around celebrity marriages is really high.
Yeah.
Both from the individuals that are in the relationship and then the people who look up to them. Yeah. So oftentimes the people in the relationship do not have an idea, let's say from the generations behind us, right? Because they probably didn't have anybody who had lived out the template for them.
Yeah.
I think it should be easier for celebrities that are coming up, you know what the entertainment space is like. You know what to expect.
Yeah.
So you should actually sit down and talk when you're getting into a relationship with somebody. For instance, I always like to say that you cannot be getting into a relationship with someone who's going to be on the open space, say media or any kind of thing that makes the person a person of influence, and then you are not ready to handle their influence. Some people are not just ready to handle their partner's influence. So you come back to a wife who is either intimidated by what you've become, or a husband who has become intimidated by what you've become. And then the tussle just becomes too much in the marriage, and one person decides, I can't have this.
Okay.
I
now,
choose my career
taking a
value.
cue from what you've just said, coming back to a husband who cannot handle what you've become, or the wife. I mean, how do we now explain the issue of celebrities who are actually married to celebrities who also are involved in this crisis?
Okay, so this is something I read in the course of the week. I think I watched an interview, and then the both of them are celebrities in the same industry. And the wife mentioned that sometimes when your spouse returns from set, it's not the right time for you to have a conversation with them, because sometimes they have not taken off the character
of the sets.
And you know, they just bring it right back into your home, and you think, oh, my spouse is back, and you try to get into a conversation with them, and you hit the person who just came off set, and you don't know what the person was acting. It might have been a violent scene, and then you just say something that knocks the person up, and then all of a sudden a guy who would never lay his hands on you is coming out, and you're like, bro.
But wait a minute. I mean, in acting, when you're properly schooled in acting, everything that happens on the set stays on the set, and the moment you step one foot out of the set, you go back to being yourself. It's just like being on the stage.
That's paperwork. I have lived in this character for maybe 3 months.
Just 3 months? But you've been yourself for like the rest of your life.
No. You're judging from your own perspective. When we talk about these things, it goes beyond just being married. Marriage is a different institution of its own, and then you have your life. And you know, I was watching an interview by this lady, and then she mentioned something about, especially I'll talk about the women now, where as a woman you have to be a career person, you have to be a mother, you have to be a wife. So you wake up every day deciding to choose who you want to be for that day. So imagine you being with your imagine you being with the partner, and even if people are in the same industry, he has to understand. So it's about two individuals, and then sometimes you can't just deal with it. There are some things you do not have control over. And there's expectation from the things about the fans. They feel like people are superhumans. Maybe they don't go through the same thing. So there's so much expectations. They expect that you're not supposed to quarrel with your husband. They expect that you're not supposed to have
issues. They show us in the movie industry there is problem.
Exactly.
On screen, you're told. I mean, from the movies itself, you've seen celebrity couples who are having serious challenges in the movies. So if we're having challenges in the movies, we are having crises. Why would you have it in
That's just how the human mind works. So sometimes you can't really balance this thing. But it has, my problem now, it has become a trend. We feel like we see it happen over and over and over and over again. And I jokingly said one day, I say, I don't think I can marry somebody in the music industry. Hey, God, you go on tour. Dancers, everything, everywhere.
In the end,
oh, my darling, I rest my case.
Whether someone sticks to their relationship or not, I think, apart from keeping violence away, whether someone sticks to their relationship or not, I think it's based on who they are as a person. Because a lot of times as individuals, we are quitters in our relationships. We have already told ourselves that if this thing comes to this level, I will go.
No,
they're not ready to stick it out.
That takes me to the point I've always emphasized. Whether you're a celebrity or you're not a celebrity, when you get into a relationship with a person, you have to, from day one, define the terms of that relationship. And when you define that relationship, as the time progresses, you have to redefine the terms of those relationships, taking into consideration the fact that, okay, the things that used to be real to you when you started out are no longer real. I mean, things have changed, you've evolved, you've grown, and the other person has grown too. So that takes us to the very center of, being able to have an edifying relationship, which is communication. But the problem is that most people are more interested in arguing than actually communicating. So if we make communication the center of our life in a relationship, I think even the celebrity drama we have in marriage.
I'm getting the vibe of a good coach.
Another angle is these things happen every day. People fall out of marriages every day. But why we hear about celebrities only because they're on the spot.
spotlight.
Yeah. So you see these things and you think, oh, why is it happening to them so much? No, it happens every day in society. But we only know.
But then
Because
they are people
different.
of influence, and then they are shaping the opinion of society on a lot of things.
They are shaping the
people
opinion.
are taking cue for marriage from them.
From them.
So if we have people,
to correct that, I think
a lot of people
want that
are
to be corrected.
people want that.
People who want to look at that as a model are the people who they are going to influence.
But sweetheart,
Yeah,
a lot of
people are actually
a lot of
doing
people
that.
are taking
A lot
a
of
cue
people
from
are doing
celebrity
that.
marriages. So I think another thing is just going for help when it looks like your marriage is beginning to hit the rocks. Do they go for help? Do they want to salvage these relationships, or they just want to move on?
Well, I don't want to stress the emphasis much, but I think the moment people get into money, the moment people get into the celebrity thing, it becomes they no longer value relationship. For some women, I'm not talking about all of them. I mean, let's go back to the just concluded Big Brother Naija, the issue of what was the name again, Tega also. Who was married, and then she was there, and all of a sudden, I mean, after the house, we saw all the issues.
I don't think it's an influence of money. Money is amoral. It takes on the
it's more of a person thing, but
has.
it also has to do with money, influence, and all of those public
The
services.
long and short of these things, everybody work on yourself to be a better human being.
Yes, so decide to stick
Better
to the
human being, better
relationship.
celebrity or not.
But it's not even like, okay, but then let's move on.
On to the next.
On to the next thing.
So this is what we're going to do. Last week we were talking about trying to keep fit, stay fit. You like squeeze your
And
face.
some people ran away.
And then we are working out.
Some people ran away.
But do you realize there are several things that we do wrong when we're exercising?
I don't realize because I don't do it.
Yeah, she wouldn't. But you know what? When it comes to exercising, I think I've actually seen a couple of things in the gym. I mean, I've seen guys do things. I mean, normally, you know how our hands are, and then at the end of the gym session, say 2, 3 months, 4 months down the line, the person can no longer keep his hands straight. See the hands like this 24/7.
Okay, we just take it straight on to staying fit, and we're going to be looking at a number of things we do wrong when we go to work out or use the gym. Stay with us.
Some help, but you pay for a gym membership and walk in, confident as can be. And when the front desk person asks you if you know how to work the machines, you proudly say, "Of course." Seconds later, you realize you could have used some help, but you're too shy to ask for it. Sound familiar? In that case, listen up. Doing certain exercises wrong isn't just useless, it can injure you. Number 1, squats. If you do them properly, squats are a perfect exercise that works out your entire lower body, puts muscle on your legs, and helps with posture. The most common mistakes while doing squats are rounding your back, going only halfway down, rising onto your toes, and caving in your knees. To avoid all of these, try to practice the proper form. Keep your back in a neutral position with your shoulders back, your chest up, and your feet shoulder-width apart, turned out at 45 degrees. As you go down, work your core and bum muscles, and keep the weight on your heels as if you were sitting back into a chair. Keep your arms straight and in front of your stomach. When you're doing it right, your knees will push outward and your back will stay straight. If you want to add weights to it, use lighter ones first and increase them as you gain strength. Number 2, leg press. The leg press seems like a rather simple machine that works out glutes and thighs. But if you're using it wrong, it won't do you any good. Avoid going too deep with your knees from the start, since this can injure your lower back. It's important to keep your legs bent at 90 degrees, and don't lock your knees as you straighten them. A lot of people ignore their heel position and let them slide off the edge of the platform. Don't make this mistake, and keep them on the sled to keep your balance and avoid unnecessary pressure on your knees. Also, only load a weight you can work with. You won't benefit from shallow reps. Number 3, front and lateral shoulder raises. The most common mistake with shoulder raises is believing that the higher you go with the weights, the more effective the exercise will be. It's wrong, and you risk straining your muscles if you do that. Instead, lift the weights to the height of your shoulders, keeping your arms slightly forward. This way, you won't contract the shoulder blades back. Your pinky finger should be a little higher than the others during the exercise. As for your feet, they should be at shoulder width with knees slightly bent. Number 4. Treadmill. Cardio is an important part of any workout routine, and treadmill training is a perfect way of doing it. When you're on the treadmill, avoid the temptation of holding onto the handrails. Been there, done that. It makes running easier and thus less effective, and can mess up your posture as you hunch over the machine. If you can't run without holding on, try lowering the speed or incline level. Speaking of that, don't set it higher than 8% to save your back, hips, and ankles from a strain they don't deserve. And never ever jump off a machine that's still in motion. This might sound funny and obvious, but it's one of the most widespread causes of gym injuries. Number 5. Stomach crunches. Anyone who wants to get a toned belly practices crunches. If you're one of those people, but aren't seeing any results in your abdominal muscles, you just might be doing crunches the wrong way. Don't tuck your chin into your chest like many people do. This strains the neck. And stay closer to the floor, about 3 inches off the mat should be fine. Take your time, going slower will help you do the exercise properly and engage your core to the max. 10 real crunches are better for your body than 10 not-so-good attempts. 6. Tricep dips. Tricep dips won't give you the shoulder injury that many people fear if you do them the right way. Keep your torso and butt close to the bench, step, or chair you're working out on. This way you won't overextend your shoulders. It's okay to bend your knees a bit if you can't do it with straight legs, but don't try to make things easier by moving further from the base. Go down, bending at the elbow, and move back up, contracting the triceps to make them work hard. Number 7. Rower. Both rowing in the open water and on a rowing machine are great calorie burners, affecting all the muscles in your body. The right technique is the key to success with this exercise. When you row just with your arms, you're exposing your upper body to too much pressure and can injure your back and shoulders. Try to split your efforts in a proportion of 60% going from your legs and the remaining 40% from your core and arms. This mental splitting of the pressure on your body parts should help keep you engaged. Sit tall on the rower, avoid slouching. Don't go for speed over power. Make long and controlled rows. Don't forget about syncing up your rhythm with your breath. It's important for any rhythmic activity. Exhale through the mouth as you go back and inhale through the nose on reset. Number 8. Push-ups. Stretching the elbows too far out, moving with your hips instead of your whole body, bending your back and neck, and going only halfway down are the most common mistakes people make while doing push-ups. Are you guilty of any of those? I am. To avoid them in the future, try to keep your back straight and let your arms do all the moving work. Keep your hands parallel to your chest on the floor. Your head should be in neutral position and your move should be slow and controlled. When your chest reaches the surface, push up until your arms lock out. 9. Bicep curls, dumbbell, and barbell. What's the best way to get toned arms? Most people would say bicep curls. However, they won't do you much good if you curl your wrists upward while exercising, drop the weights down too quickly, or swing them up, engaging your shoulders and back instead. To give your biceps a proper workout, imagine there's a string running from your shoulder to the weight you're lifting. That string should help you move the weight from your hand to your shoulder, and your biceps will squeeze at the top of that movement. It's okay to either keep your wrist straight or somewhat loose. It's just important that you don't work and injure the wrist joint. Number 10. Cable triceps extensions. You can do it either with an easy bar attachment or a rope. But in any case, make sure you lock your elbows tight to your ribs. They shouldn't be going back and forth with the weights. Try not to stand too straight during this exercise either. Instead, slightly bend forward to give your body a full range of motion and a full extension. 11. Chin-ups, pull-ups. Perhaps the biggest surprise on the list, pull-ups and chin-ups, are the exercises most people do wrong just because they believe there's no way to mess them up. In fact, if you're swinging your body as you move up and down, don't brace your core and legs, and flop around, you are indeed doing it wrong. Your range of motion also matters, so you gotta make sure you go both low and high enough. A good starting position is a dead hang with fully extended arms. You can keep them at shoulder width for pull-ups, and chin-ups need a narrower grip. You start with retracting the shoulder blades. Then you pull hard, engaging your biceps, back muscles, and elbows. If you're doing chin-ups, keep your chin over the bar. For pull-ups, just try to make it as high as you can. To become a pro at it, you can practice on a lat machine. At first, when it's too hard to handle, try jumping into a chin-up or push-up and holding the position for as long as you can manage, then going down slowly.
Welcome back. This is still Rise and Shine Saturday, and I hope you have seen all the things that we are doing wrong when we go to stay fit. Avoid it. Do something new.
Anyways, you see why I started doing to work out. I just saw that in there. I would have killed myself. That treadmill, I used to hold it and be, but thank God for God's mercies. He knows that it's not for me, so He preserved me, and I have learned never again.
Plus this workout thing actually works with body type. So just get a good understanding before you start working out and be suffering. Or just drink water. You will survive.
Whether you work out or you don't work out, as long as you eat healthily, you're still going to stay fit. So please, favor, don't stress yourself.
Anyways, I'm not even talking about eating healthy. You promised us soup and you have not given us, so let's just leave that one. Anyways, before we went on a quick break, we were talking about celebrities that have fallen out of their marriages either by chance, mistake, and all of that. But we are now bringing you the good gist, showing you celebrities that actually have showed us that this can be here. Yeah, this can work. You can be here and still make it happen. I saw Joker Silva and
that's what old time Nollywood sweetheart.
They have my heart.
And there was a picture of them at an award night, and she hugged him. Yeah.
Oh my
and when you see that picture, the hug said so much. And he's really struggling with a lot of things. She's struggling with his health right now, and the hug said, "I got you.
I got you."
Fine. And that was
not just "I got you," but "I got you, my baby." You got to put that.
It was really beautiful to see.
We have a number of people in the industry who are doing well, who've stuck on. Then, like for us, top on our list would be Joke and Olu Jacobs.
Yeah, definitely.
Like for us, and it differs. There's Omoni Oboli. And her husband.
Yeah.
There was one time people were trolling her, like, how is her husband copying? You do a lot of kissing scenes and all of that. And I'm like, the man is not.
They knew what they were going into.
Then, my all-time favorite is always going to be Omotala.
Oh, yeah.
I just love the way
and
she and the husband and the family.
I think a system, there's RMD. I think a system that works for most of them, if you notice some of them that their marriages are really working, is that they keep their partners off
the media.
Like someone like Choma, I've never even seen her husband before.
Most of them actually keep their spouses off the media, so they don't have too many people encroaching. I think that's a tip.
And they actually also keep their issues out of the media. I don't remember seeing anything about Omotala and the husband or Missy Johnson and the husband, except recently about the child and the school saga.
Anything about that was not even directly on the marriage.
So I think that contributes a lot to why they're still together. And
there are people sticking it out. There are people choosing themselves daily, no matter what happens. And they're telling us that we can succeed in this thing, even if we're celebrities and if they're celebrities. Just make the right choice. Choose your partner. Understand. Communicate. Communicate. Where you know they walk. Just tell the person, Honko, this thing which you do, he's shooking me. Let's do a reappraisal.
I think that's exactly what both of you, I mean, especially you, I think you're always going to be on a very, very talking side.
It's called expressive, Francis.
It's called expressive. It's
Okay.
on the bunny side, but funny enough, I'm not that expressive.
Like, seriously?
No, I'm not. I
Are you sure?
put things like
In your stomach.
But the Lord help
And you think about it.
amen.
And you pray.
Let's talking about celebrity
All right.
marriages. We had an interview with director of
Guild of Nigeria.
Thank you, Francis. You took that out of my mouth, Francis. A humble act by
Because you told me.
I told you, but I could not tell them. But anyways, we had that interview, and we would like you to see it. So you hear from someone who is
who's in the system.
who's inside that place. So let's not be talking too much. So I hope you enjoy this interview as you listen and watch this.
We're supposed to feel that.
You're still tuned to Spectrum TV, and this is Rise and Shine Saturday. And of course, this is the discussion section, and I'm super excited to welcome our guest. Our guest in the studio is none other than Director Humble Apan. Welcome to the studio, sir.
Thank you very much.
How are you today?
I'm fine.
I can see you looking fine. I mean, the industry is treating you well.
Yeah. They say, but it's okay.
Per se, you don't want to reveal the secret. Okay, let's quickly get to know who is Director Humble Apan.
Okay, Director Humble Apan is a movie maker. I'm a film maker. I major in directing. I produce and I write. I don't like acting. Actually, as I'm even facing this camera, and I look as if I'm thinking what is happening behind
the camera. Because you're used to being behind the camera.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a producer director. Currently, I'm the state chairman of Akwa Ibom Movie Directors Forum. I am a licensed film director, so I belong to the body called Directors Guild of Nigeria.
Okay, that's a big one. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, sir. We're talking about a very important issue in the entertainment industry. As a matter of fact, it's not just about the entertainment industry. As a first guest did let us know that when you talk about celebrity marriages, we're talking about celebrity marriages and the drama all about it. I mean, I think some persons outside celebrities are beginning to care. I think recently we had pastors, also took their relationship drama to the internet and all of that. But we want to focus on celebrities because they have always been at the front line of this marriage drama. So, as a director, first and foremost, have you ever come across a celebrity who was going through a divorce situation?
Okay, you see, when you were trying to introduce the topic, I was actually smiling in my mind. So many things was going through my mind. Well, I wouldn't love to mention people's name.
Yeah, definitely.
But I know even a painter that paints so well is a celebrity. Mm-hmm. A woman on the street that hawks fufu is a celebrity.
But we know the celebrity we are talking about now. Yeah, we're talking about the real celebrity that we know.
When we talk about celebrity on screen, being it because they are mirrors to the world. Yeah. So people look at them like their role model. So anything that happens to their marriage becomes the talk of the town. Any drama that happens in between their marriage becomes people's concern. Mm-hmm. So, since I'm in the business of filmmaking in the entertainment industry, like I said, I won't want to mention people's name, but I think celebrity marriage, a drama in celebrities' marriage is not really nice. I don't really see it like being nice. But sometimes I don't blame them. Because sometimes we all have problems. Naturally, we have problems.
Okay, naturally we have problems in marriages. Yes. Okay, but is it really necessary to bring these problems to the internet?
Okay, and first and foremost, we should ask ourselves the question. Are they the ones that bring this drama to the internet?
Yes, sometimes they are. I mean, remember, presently we're talking about the issue of Annie Dibia and Two-Face Dibia and the Dibia's family.
Which was resolved.
And which has been resolved and they have made up. But it was Annie herself who brought the issue to the internet. And there have been several other issues like that. So is it really necessary?
Okay, that's, when you look at Annie, it could be accumulation anger. Could be accumulative anger.
Now you're making excuses for Annie.
No, I'm not making excuses for her. I am thinking what she has been going through over the years.
Okay, but even at that, sorry to correct you, at that, you might be going through something. But Why not seek a marriage counselor rather than bring your issues to the internet?
Okay, on the other side, I think some of them will actually bring it for popularity's sake.
Okay, now you're running faster than what I was actually having in mind. Because there's this saying in the entertainment world that all kinds of publicity is actually publicity. It doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. Okay, so my next question was to be: is this part of a popularity stunt, an intentional move on part of some celebrities? Because it's not all of them. I mean, we know of marriages and people who are still married, like the Luke Jacobs and Joke Silva, who are still married, and we've never had one issue about their marriages. We know of Messi, Messi Johnson. We know of Motala, and a whole lot of them, and their issues are not in the internet. I mean, doesn't mean they don't have issues.
You see, this is personal. You see, right from when, if you look at you and I, we are mature men. If you look at when you were doing relationship, you are married, I'm not married, I'm still single. So I am not saying I am doing the relationship things.
Okay.
I'm just trying to come up from an angle.
All right.
Now, you see, there are people that value their relationship, talk more of marriage. So there are people that, as vow, that come rain, come shine, they will never take their problems to social media. But there are people that feels anytime they have any problem, the whole world should hear
about it.
Sometimes the woman wants to be popular. Sometimes the man wants to be popular. And sometimes they won't even think of the negative aspect of it. Okay. They won't even think of what will come out after the whole game.
Okay, now let's look at...
Sometimes anger triggers it.
Anger triggers it. But
yes.
Are there no other way to deal with anger?
Fine, it is individual perspective. There's somebody that says when I'm angry, I will use my headset, I will listen to music. There's somebody that says whenever I'm angry, I will shout. There's somebody that says I will cry. So it could be a way of dissolving the anger by taking it to social media. People say yeah, thumbs up. People that say yeah,
and their fans are
and the fans are pressing you, and you feel you're becoming so popular.
Okay, but you're doing the damages to yourself.
Yes, but I'm not encouraging it. I'm not encouraging it, but I'm trying to be in the middle. I'm a film director, so I will not just take the story to the end, because I don't know what's in the writer's mind. They are the writer, they are the actors.
But you determine what the story is like. Okay. Now let's quickly look at, as a director who has been in the industry, and you probably must have experienced one or two situations where your actor comes on set and there's that mood swing. There's not, that personality that you're used to is not there, probably because the person is having some relationship or marital issues. Now, as a director, how would you say such situations affect their output on set?
Okay, I was working on a movie set at Idoran, one of those villages. I don't want to mention the actor's name. She is very popular. She's a very popular actor. Now, while I was filming with her, a call will come into her phone. The PA will call. Excuse me. She'll run out of set. She'll run into the bush and she'll be crying. After like 10 minutes, she will come out. It was our production. We were still waiting. So when she comes out, because I'm very close to her, I will call her. What happened? Finally, she had to open up to me that a pharmacist that she was supposed to marry, they're having issues and all those things. But me, I was thinking it was going to affect her. But my brother, I was so shocked that when she comes out, she'll get water, clean her face, come up on set again, and she will give me higher than what I was even expecting.
Okay, now I think that's a situation where anger actually becomes a motivating factor.
But what I'm thinking is, that was her job. Sometimes we play on sentiment. Some people play on sentiment. This is my job. So if I come out not strong, I'm spoiling the job. Yeah. So sometimes could be maybe it was a producer's job, another person's job. That's okay, producer, I'm sorry, I'm tired, I'm having some issues. I don't think I can really work again. So she actually did her best. But I've also seen an actor that, okay, let me come this way. When I was filming with my sister, she was supposed to go and for her CDS. That time she was in NYC.
Okay.
Even when they called her, you're supposed to be in Enugu State. My sister lost everything. She couldn't control herself on sets. So you see,
she was thinking of the implications of not being where she was supposed to be.
So these are two different people.
Okay, now you've given us two very beautiful scenarios. Now let's look at the implication of these on people who look up to these celebrities as role model. What do you think would be their mindset towards marriage?
Okay, society has actually turned to different things. You see, when you look at before now, young persons who are looking up to people were not actually concluding what is happening based on what they see. But now, a young girl will see a man beating up the person he or she is looking up to. The person will not ask questions. They will just run into conclusion. If I was to be this, I would have done this. Look at why you beating my fan. Why is this person doing this to that woman? Why is this Mr. A doing this to Mr. B? Who is my role model? So they are not actually looking at the negative part of it. It's only the ones that would sit down and think. But what me I'm thinking, the negative part of this thing, how it's affecting your fans, is because when they come to actualization and discover that you were wrong, it will give them another perspective of you.
Of you as a person.
Yes. So that's the only thing I'm looking at.
Now, this marriage drama has been on. I mean, the recent one that was, everybody, fans were talking about it, that they're not going to come back, was one of the P Square brothers.
Yeah.
But eventually, after the court suing and the demand for welfare package and all of that, they finally got back together. And they're happy. I mean, just like Annie and Two-Face are back together. I mean, that even though there is actually a case in court by Pero demanding for all of that.
Yeah.
But before we go, I'd like to ask this one last question. Where does society come in all of this?
Well, like I said before, you see, the world has actually gone to a level where people live I don't care life. So when you say where does society comes into this thing, everybody believes in what they feel is good for them. For example, you were talking about a marriage counselor. I am not trying to praise myself, I'm single, but I'm a relationship coach. I have counseled so many married women. Sometimes it could be gifts. So where society comes to play, there's a way you talk to somebody and the person will feel you don't even know what he or she knows. There's somebody who said, you've not worn my shoe. You're not the one wearing the shoe, so you don't know how I am feeling.
Okay.
So as if like you and I, you are married, and I say, you see, in marriage, you not look at me and say, humble, you're not married. How come you know things about my head?
All right. As a matter of fact, let me clear there on that. Actually, you don't need to be a married person before you can counsel married people. For instance, I'm a Catholic. I know Catholic priests do counsel married people, and they are not married. So you don't necessarily need to be in the shoe to know where it hurts and how it feels.
So when it comes to what do society feel or how do society feel about this, I think it is individual thing.
Okay.
When you start looking at what society feel about what is happening about with you, I think you're going to lose it.
Okay. Now let's quickly look at all of the celebrities. They have brands there. They've been endorsed as brand ambassadors and all of that. Is there any negative implication to that? I mean, or do the brands also feed off from all of these kinds of publicity?
My brother, from the moment your brand, the company you're modeling for or you're representing hears a negative information, this is two-way traffic. This is two-way traffic.
Yeah.
Negative information could either push the brand or could either bring it down. So when this brand look at what is happening, okay, for example, now I am modeling for a particular company and they said they caught me slapping a madman on the street. So my company now, what is happening? They look at the positive aspects
of you slapping the madman.
Of me slapping the madman. And they look at the negative aspect. How does it affect the brand, the company?
Popularity.
Yes, the popularity of the. So if it is not affecting it negatively, they will leave it to fly. But if it's affecting it negatively, my brother, I am very sure that they will just terminate the appointment.
Oh, definitely. And that brings us to a very serious situation. Okay, Director Humble, you've said a lot about the issue of celebrity marriages and all of that put together. Now, from your point of view, it is not right. You wouldn't support going on the internet with your issues, right?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, so what would be your advice to, celebrities when they have challenges in their marriages?
Okay, as a public figure, as someone that people are looking up to, if you have a problem with your wife or your husband in their house, I am thinking irrespective of the level of problem. Like a friend of mine was chatting with me yesterday. She was saying the guy came to marry her. They went to meet the family. Now the guy said he's tired of the marriage, all because he met the girl making call, and the guy tagged the call illegal call. How sure are you that it was illegal call? Even if you come and meet the girl saying I love you, do you know who she's loving?
But in that case, let me quickly comment. In that case, did she actually explain to the guy who she was talking with?
I now asked her the same question as me, who were you talking with? But the girl actually opened up door, said one of the guys, one of the friends. I said, okay, you were wrong. But at the same time, the guy should not conclude everything.
No, but
because there's never a perfect being.
Yes.
It's the same guy that is questioning this woman now. If he is not taken before coming to the house, he had said to someone I love you before coming to the house.
Okay. Now let's not dig into that. Let's not just dive into that. But I want to say that, personally, like you have been on the other side, coaching relationships and all of that for a long time now. But I discovered that most of the times that we have issues in relationships is actually as a result of miscommunications.
Yes.
Okay. And sometimes, like we went to church on Sunday, and immediately we came out from church, my brother and the wife, we had a serious argument. And what was the argument about? The priest said, just because a man says, "I'm going to marry you," engages you, is not enough for you to put your eggs in one basket.
Okay.
And then two lovers who were engaged, obviously engaged because the lady was wearing an engagement ring. I mean, inside the church, there was war between the two of them. Because the guy was like, "Yes, I've been saying it." And the lady was like, "What have you been saying?" So the guy was like, "Okay, what the priest said was correct." And then like, "Okay, I've been saying." And the lady was like, "Okay, so if that is what you've been saying, since the priest says I should not put my eggs in one basket, that means I'm not going to be faithful to you from here on." And the guy's face changed. And that was the end of the church for the two of them. So all of these things boils down to communication. I mean, from the moment, for me personally, I don't see any business where, once you engage somebody and then you're beginning to, move around. If you're not comfortable with that person, then you're not comfortable. And then let the person be, and there's definitely some other person for the person. Okay, away from that was just a little bit of the digressing part. What would be your last advice to the people listening to you?
Okay, to my viewers, to my fans out there, I would say regarding this topic, anytime you have a problem with your spouse, I don't think it's proper to take it to social media. Communicate with him or her. See how you can talk things out. When you take your things to social media, some people will praise you. Some people will mock at you. Some people will say, "Wow, if I'm this, I would have done that. If I'm that, I would have done that." You don't know the ones that are actually telling you their mind. So I think it is good for you to call yourself into the house, call your spouse to the house. Both of you should sit down. Talk. Even if you want to slap yourself, slap. But don't take it to social media and expect people to say you have done so well. Because in the end, these are the same people that will still mock at you. So that's my own.
All right, thank you so much, Director Mbu, for coming on the show. We really do appreciate it. We hope you will come when next we call you.
It's okay, no problem. I appreciate Spectrum TV. I love the name, especially I love the name. I just pray that God should help Spectrum to sustain and survive the hits of this country.
Amen. And yes, this is still Rise and Shine Saturday on Spectrum TV, and that has been it on this part of the segment, talking about the discussion segment. And don't forget, when you have issues in your marriage, when you have issues in your relationship, communication is key. Going to the internet, well, you might be looking for publicity, but not all publicity is actually good publicity, regardless of how you say it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this break.
Welcome back. This is still Rise and Shine Saturday, where we bring you sweet gist. I know you have been watching us from the beginning. You will not tell me that this edition has not been torturing you like in your inside heart. Anyways, yes, this is still Rise and Shine Saturday on Spectrum TV, and we have come to another dimension of the show. I promised you that it's going to be back to back hot, and that's what we're doing.
Back to back hot.
And as far as serving it hot is concerned, there is another issue that has been bothering me, and we've had different interaction, different discussion, and sometimes when you sit in the counseling room, and some people just walk up to you and like, okay, is it actually necessary for me to consider XYZ while getting married? And what's that XYZ? Age difference. What is your ideal age difference? If you're a man, to what extent can you go? Would you date or would you marry an older lady or would you not? If you're a woman, what is that age limit that you just will not cross? That is what we want to talk about. So this time around, I want to start with you, yeah. What is your ideal age? Like seriously? Would you date an older woman? Would you marry an older man?
No, please. I shall not marry An older man. You please cannot be older than me. By more than 10 years or more.
Okay,
if you have 10 years on me, I don't think I can be in love with you.
Okay, but 10 years is cool though.
No, I think for me, the limit of an age gap should be between 5 and 6 years. For me, ideally, that's what I'd take.
Yeah.
10 years is too much to ask of me, in my opinion. I don't... Oh my God, I'm just seeing my daddy. I can't do this.
Okay. Now, you're seeing your daddy with 10 years difference. Let me come to you.
I have a very different opinion concerning this issue from Uyan.
Okay.
When it comes to relationship, I'm open-minded. I'm not going to restrict myself to an age. I like to love, and I want to love.
I clap for that. I just clap. I clap for that.
Yes, I crave for a love so deep that the ocean will be jealous.
Oh
and if that love comes in an older body, why say no?
And that's the poetry coming out.
Oh my God.
I went to school.
We are going to twist that line.
No, but that, for me, that's the real deal. Oh yeah, I said 10 years. I can even do 15. I think realistically, max, I think I'll go. It'll be 20.
Okay, now.
Realistically, let me not say above 20, but realistically, I can do 20. But there have to be T's and C's to apply.
Okay.
Definitely someone at that age who actually maybe must have been married before, or divorced, or maybe lost his spouse or something. There will be something.
Possibly never married before.
Even better.
Possibly, but that's, yeah,
I'm just saying, even better.
Okay.
But when it comes to this love thing, as much as I love young relationships, but I'm open-minded to older relationships.
Okay. Now, I love the fact that
because younger relationships look... I think now we're talking about it. I'm realizing that maybe it's because younger relationships look more fancy in the eye. By the time we are taking our photos together, it looks like
you're loved up.
We're all loved up.
There's a trend on Instagram right now with hashtag age gap thingy. When you go on that hashtag, you see cute older men and women.
As in older versus younger.
Silver fox people, white bears, tuxedo. They'll put their ring, they put their hand, they write their age. It's still fancy. I feel it's just about individuals, what you can handle.
Okay. Now that takes you. You guys have spoken your mind. She says 10 and you say 15.
But can you marry a woman who's younger than you are?
Oh my goodness.
Younger, like younger age, not underage.
Well, personally, like Favor said, I am open-minded, very open-minded. In fact, my first name should have been Love, not Francis.
Wow.
It's okay.
When we have a real sense here, we are deep lovers. Oh,
so I love love, like I believe in love and nothing else. And I believe that wherever love is concerned, every other thing falls and should be a second. So for me, age is not really a factor. I can go for a lady who is 10, 15 years older if God brings her my way
10,
and she's the ideal person, and I wouldn't have issues.
He doesn't mind.
I can go 10, 15, and then I can equally go 5 at most 10 years younger.
Even 10 years younger?
Yeah.
I'm now going to ask you, how old are you, Francis?
No, that's
so let's assume
that's not the story for today.
Wait, let's assume you are 30. It means you can marry a lady, a girl
from 20 to 25.
Yeah, because actually there are some 20-year-olds who are actually
really mature. Yeah.
I remember when I was 20, I felt really old. So
case study.
So you wanted to marry then, I guess.
I wanted to marry, but I have this diary at home on my 20th birthday, and I'm like, Lord knows I'm an old soul stuck in a 20-year-old body, because
that's really true. That's
because you see, and at that point,
so there's a lot you're looking out for.
Yes, at that point, if I was going to get married, I knew I could handle it. It was not like I cannot handle this thing. You understand? Yeah. I was already done with school by then per se, so
you were ready.
I was mentally, physically, not financially. I wasn't financially ready.
That won't be handled by your husband.
I hear there is a spice to marrying older persons. I hear that they are good with loving. That I hear that there is a quality of love that comes with marrying an older person. Sister,
are you talking from experience?
No, I'm talking from conversational experience.
I think at this point we should actually try and reach out to Regina to see if she'd be in a position to give us the right life experiences.
What kind of shit did you just throw like that?
But anyways, if I was
on a lighter note though,
maybe, sometimes we have like society norms, values, restrictions, and I think what Regina did was she broke out of that.
Yeah.
Before, people would be like, when she got married, people were like, when they found out she was pregnant, they were like, oh, congratulations. So the world will be fine, actually.
Eventually.
Yeah, the world will be fine. Do you, the world will adjust. But at the end of the day, every kind of relationship comes with its own hiccup. Even if you're going to be with the same person at the same age, it comes with its own hiccup. So mentally prepare for that. As much as we talk about the age gap thing, is nice being with an older man. They come with their own baggage too.
They do. Absolutely.
So you
I'm sure they will.
And that you can handle that. As long as you can handle it, I will not. If I have a child today, you say, Mom, my partner is older than me. The first question I'm asking you is not about him right now. It's about you. Can you live up to the responsibilities that comes with this marriage? Can you handle it? If you say you can, who am I? The Lord be with you.
And then sometimes handling the history that comes with those older
I has a thing for experience.
I think she has been there. And she's hoping to be in that situation. She's warming up for it. She's warming up.
I'm not saying it, sister.
That one.
Say it.
I think she's going to break that.
It's rise and shine. Let us shine into your life so you can rise.
Nah.
Did you feel that rhymes?
Yeah. Rise and shine.
Yes.
Let us feel into your life so you can.
Let us shine into your life so you can shine.
Come on.
Oh, God.
High five.
Okay,
Things like this can only happen on set here, so you have to keep up with us to be getting switches like this.
Right?
Seriously.
So it differs from person to person what everybody believes and what people choose as the age gap. But in the end, choose what works for you and what you can work with. Be with who brings you so much joy and fulfillment.
Yeah.
So we are going to take a quick musical break, and we are going to be dancing to the tune of Abule.
Hey.
Abule. All right, let's do this together. Stay tuned with us. Pato Ranking is on this one.
Like, take it away.
Pato Ranking is on this one.
This is another Tolio for my man. Make I tell you waiting happen for Abule. But this big party inside my Abule. I went there with my best friend Kule. Kule they there with his girlfriend Shile. Ghetto girls them they like Takasufi. So many pretty girls they inside my mule. I just the one that say which can party everything yagba, everything there. Oh shit, I get many girls with them they come from away. AJ boys and they like to throw away. Almost go babe. We just having fun. We won't carry on. Crazy girls like make this stallion. But my girlfriend they turn me on. That's why I hold on tight. Hold on, jaja. Hold on tight. Hold on, jaja. That's why I hold on tight. Hold on, jaja. Hold on tight. Hold on, jaja. From a Bute Meta all the way to Niger Delta. Now we get plenty ololo. Girl them not for go logo. I just want sharply take one photo before the baba them tell us to go. Oh shit, I get many girls with them they come from away. AJ boys and they like to throw away. Almost go babe. We just having fun. We won't carry on. That's why I hold on tight. Hold on, jaja. Hold on tight. Hold on, jaja.
at this one. Oh, there's a camera there. Oh, okay. I just saw.
Hello, welcome. I hope you were able to move your body from side to side. It's the Rise and Shine Saturday, and we've been having an explosive morning. So we're going to bring you another gist, like by the side. We throw it inside there, let it balance. Excuse me, please. In the course of the week, we read something really alarming. Someone says when he dies, that his property should not be willed to his wife, but that his siblings will come and share the property. Excuse me. What's the matter? Uncle, you are a man.
I just knew she was coming to me.
But how can you marry?
Erin, are you in this?
I would talk from the other angle, but I feel you guys have a way you put head thing. So let us
My
in on
dear,
this
you
one.
have to see. You are defending the men folk here.
I'm not defending anybody. Okay, so I'm just gonna be me first and
What
foremost.
would
I'm just
you
gonna
do?
be me.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, marriage is between a man and a woman.
Well,
And the
you
Bible
look at
has
the same
already
plus your family.
clarified that. I mean, from the moment you leave your family and cling to the woman, she leaves her family, she is your number one priority. And so whatever you had before you met her and whatever you guys make together belongs to both of you. So in the situation where you are nearing your death, I mean, you're closer to your grave than to life, if there is anybody that is supposed to be given the authority to administer
To share.
that, it is your wife.
Your spouse.
Not even your children. It is
Wow.
your wife.
Yeah.
It is your wife who should even designate the children, you know, what they have to take if you didn't do a will or proper will before you die.
Yeah.
But on the other side, let me tell from the African mindset of some African men who have refused to, you know, outgrown those old practices. Most men still believe that their family is number one, even when they're married. That's why you still have issues maybe lots of issues where the man dies and the brothers and the sisters, even those sisters who are married, run back to the family to struggle the brother's property, forgetting that they were married out, and then this brother was equally married and has children.
Yeah.
So for the man who said his wife should be taken out and the brothers and sisters should be the one to share his property,
He should be flogged.
Totally am
He
not
should be
in support.
flogged.
As a matter of fact, if I were to meet him in person,
He should be
I think
flogged.
we'll probably exchange some
And the
punches,
funny
but-
thing might be that you might come to realize that, you know, that most people who eventually get it big must have had a spouse who worked through the hustle with them. So you now deny the woman of her blood and sweat and the things you denied her of in the process of making
It's
wealth.
not just the woman at this point.
And your
because
children.
your children, you have no idea what your brothers and your sisters are going to do with your wealth. So your children suffer at the end of
Francis
the day.
is angry. I feel at the end of the day, these are things people need to talk about.
You need to talk about before getting married.
When we look at the rate of these things happening, we realize that husbands don't really have financial conversations with their wives.
True that.
When you look out of 100%,
True that.
30% of wives know their husband's finances, their businesses, what goes in, what goes out. Most of the wives are clueless. And in cases like that, that is where you see these things play in. So because you don't know, you can't handle what you don't know.
Yeah, and when the past becomes
when
a
they pass,
problem.
they'll be like, maybe their brothers even know better. They'll be like, okay, fine, help me.
Oh, no.
And it might not be necessarily be out of a bad mind. Maybe they don't understand that my wife doesn't know how to handle this thing. She doesn't know what it is. So let my brother handle it. But then you don't know the heart of human beings, and then things go south.
Why didn't you school her
Why
in the
will
process?
your wife who has been with you not be able to manage your things?
These are the realistic things that happen. Certain people are clueless.
I think it's different when you say you try to bring your spouse in, you try to teach them, and they just didn't have a head or interest.
And then that takes me to what I wanted to say. Some women don't actually have interest.
They don't have a
in
head, they don't have an
understanding
interest.
what
That's
the
something
husband
else.
does. So as far as it is the husband's responsibility to let the wife understand his line of business and probably understand how to manage all of
You know
those
that-
things, it is
Bring her
actually important for the wife to also take interest to understand
True.
what the husband does.
I agree with
when
you
this
totally.
situation comes, you just be on top of the situation.
But you also agree that sometimes society has, I always say there is this margin, even though the margin has been, shrinking gradually, but there's this margin society has said that, oh, women, you should do this. It is now that we hear of women acquiring properties on their own, this and that, and all of that. But then the key thing is, it's my husband, whatever he says, it goes south way. So these things now like a wake-up call. wives, be interested in your husband's business.
Be interested.
Know what your husband owns. Know his financial like. Is it about to go bankrupt? Don't wait till when something happens. He says, "Babe, we don't have anything." So know these things because it will help you. Because time will come where there's nothing you can do. You might not be fortunate enough to be in a family that genuinely cares about you and your children when your partner is not there anymore. So get involved in these things. Don't just ask questions.
Ask questions.
Because some people are naturally they won't say anything. Ask questions. Me, I'll ask.
I think it goes either way.
Yeah.
If your wife is the successful partner, I think the husband should be interested. Ask questions. Help her manage. You are the head. Help her manage.
Yeah, one key thing we should note when, in terms of buying property, Mrs. and Mr. and Mrs. is not, let your name be there.
Let your name
be there. Mr. and Mrs. is not a thing. When that thing happens, you don't have anything anymore. So you have to educate yourself and know that, okay, well, investment is this and that, or this is what we have.
This is what we have. And we have to agree. I mean, by the time your spouse is getting older, and then maybe plan for your death in quote. If you have property,
funny, but that's the
sit
truth.
down with your spouse and decide what goes to what child, what goes where. I think it's just out of maybe sheer wickedness that you want to do that to your family when you're gone. You don't care what becomes of them after you're gone.
I wouldn't want to come from the wickedness point. I'll actually want to say ignorance. I like to say ignorance. And then illiteracy. Because any man who is educated
is African to
and
the
is
bone.
enlightened
And
at
then
this point.
culture too plays a huge role because sometimes you do these things you don't know they are wrong because they are culturally right.
Very true.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So if you are educated and you're enlightened, you will be able to break free from those cultural barriers. There's a difference between actually going to school and being educated.
See, you can take the boy out of the village. It's taking the village out of the boy.
So you go to school, you are educated, but you are not knowledgeable, you are not wise, you're not enlightened enough to know that, okay, those traditional, cultural, religious barriers that makes you to be unfair to yourself, to your family, should actually be put aside for you to do the ideal thing.
Some people have segregations, school, life, business, and they don't mix it. So we have to enlighten ourselves. And I think society has to do better and tell people that this is how exactly, and it becomes a norm.
That's what Rise and Shine is here for. So we'll make sure we enlighten you.
We have to keep up with us.
So we should, I think it's important for couples to talk about their finances together. Yeah, so it's still Rise and Shine Saturday, and the conversations are just on and on and on. We'll take a quick musical break, and when we return, we are bringing you some really important reports. Do you know that the amount of spice you have in your food, do you know how much spicy food affects you and your health? I bet you haven't paid attention to it, but we'll delve right into it. Stay with us.
What happens to your heart and body when you take spicy food every day? Today, we will talk about spice. Okay, spicy foods. Actually, when we talk about spicy food, we usually refer to the type of foods that are served primarily with chili and other seasonings, such as garlic, onion, turmeric, cumin seed, hot tomato sauce, salsa, etc. By the way, spicy food is not only about loosening clogged nose and turning up body heat. It means more than what we believe it to be. It has numerous health benefits. However, some people are allergic to it. Let's dive deeper into different type of health benefits of spice and spicy foods. Number 1. It helps in fighting cold. Among spicy foods, chili pepper is the best pick to fight cold allergy or common cold problems. Chili peppers are full of vitamins like A, C, and contains capsaicin. Capsaicin activates the mucous membrane of the nose, and it opens nasal passage and reduces sinusitis. Number 2. It fights against cancer. Studies have shown that capsaicin in chilies and other plants of that group slows down the growth of cancer cells by inducing autopsy, programmed cell death. Capsaicin slows the growth of deadly tumors and kills off leukemic cells. You have probably heard of leukemia disease. People with leukemia produce uncontrolled amount of white blood cells in the blood, and this overproduction of white blood cells disrupts the normal function of the blood. Chili peppers, along with turmeric and mustards, work as a powerful anti-cancer drug in the body. An epidemiological study has shown that Indian and Mexican people have lower rates of some cancers. The phenomenon has been associated with their taking foods rich in capsaicin. Number 3. Good for heart health. Spicy foods are good for cardiovascular diseases. Yes, they are. Chili peppers contain a chemical compound named as capsaicin. Capsaicin fights against inflammation. It also reduces the bad cholesterol, LDL, in the blood. Capsaicin improves body's ability to dissolve blood clots. By working against the inflammation and bad cholesterol, capsaicin reduces the risk of stroke and heart attacks. Dr. Ziming Zhu said that spicy flavor reduces the urge of taking salt, which in turn contributes to the lowering blood pressure. A study has claimed that intakes of chili peppers, along with ginger and turmeric, widen arteries. Number 4. Improvement of digestion process. Spice increases the hydrochloric secretion of your stomach. It also improves mucus lining. Capsaicin kills off H. pylori and other bacteria in the gut. It staves off stomach ulcer. Capsaicin boosts up the digestion process. Number 5. Spicy food lifts your mood. Spicy food increases the secretion of feel-good hormones like endorphin and serotonin. It also staves off stress and depression. So, if you are in low mood next time, try having spicy food and check how your body responds to it. Number 6. Weight loss. Studies have shown that capsaicin has a thermogenic effect on the body. It means that capsaicin burns out extra calories from your body. It increases the body temperature. Another study has found that capsaicin induces you to take less amount of food, which in turn contributes to less amount of calorie intake. Number 7. Pain relief. Capsaicin can inhibit the signals that are sent from nerve cells to brain. It targets the brain chemical called substance P. This chemical plays a significant role in injuries and hurts. It deadens the sensation of pain you might be feeling. Capsaicin is also used in certain pain-relieving creams in order to reduce the burning sensation from the pain source. Number 8. Sweating. If you eat spicy foods, you might feel that your body is sweating. This is a normal response. Due to capsaicin's heat-producing effect in the body, your brain determines that your body is overheating. So, it needs to be cooled down by sweating. Number 9. Relief from arthritis. Turmeric, garlic, cinnamon are one of the ingredients of spicy foods. Turmeric reduces the joint inflammation and bone damage. The chemical compound found in turmeric is called curcumin. It helps in the alleviation of pain associated with arthritis disease. Cinnamon and garlic have also anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties. In addition, some creams containing capsaicin are used to get relief from joint pains. Number 10. Suppression of prostate cancer. A 2010 study published in Future Oncology Journal says that capsaicin can work against the growth of prostate cancer. Prostate gland helps in the production and transportation of male seminal fluid and sperm. Patients with prostate cancer can have erectile dysfunction and may have difficulty in urinating. Good news is that, like other anti-inflammatory foods and drugs, capsaicin can help in suppressing the prostate cancer. Although spicy food has a huge number of health benefits, people have experienced some negativities too. Number 1. Heartburn or acid reflux. A few people experience heartburn after eating spicy foods, although the reason is unknown. But heartburn is a kind of indigestion. The person affected by heartburn feels acute pain in the lower part of the chest. When stomach acid passes back to the throat, it causes a burning sensation and heartburn occurs. Health experts recommend having yogurt to counteract the effect of spice. Number 2. Skin irritation. In order to avoid this burning sensation of green chili, wear gloves before cutting chili peppers. Wash your hand with dishwashing liquid or milk or oil instead of water. Number 3. Desensitization of taste buds. If you eat spicy food too much, your taste buds can be toned down and your taste buds may be desensitized over time. Health professionals say that this may happen in extreme cases. So, the recommendations you should follow. Traditionally, South Asian and Mexican foods are considered spicy. With the passage of time, spicy foods have gained popularity all over the world. Most important point is that spicy foods turn you on. Next time, if you are in a low mood, try to have something spicy and keep an eye to the reaction of your body. And of course, you must try moderate amount of spicy foods every day.
Welcome back. It's still Rise and Shine Saturday, and we have been bringing you a lot of information, very entertaining and very educative. You just saw what spicy food can do to you. Favor saw something. She wants to shout about it.
No, she actually screamed. She screamed, and I got startled.
My heart leaped for joy. You know why? Because when you go on the internet, you see a whole lot of things and drinks and tablets about these things, but then natural food can do the
food.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
what can you do?
You're looking for trouble.
According to the report you just saw, actually, spicy food can turn you on. It could help your sex drive, which is something that people go to go and be buying drugs and stuff for. So
and I've left people smart
myself, why do you have to take drugs to get yourself
excuse me.
All you have to do is just eat healthy.
Okay, so eat healthy so that your life will be well grounded. On to the next.
Okay. I know.
Because I don't know, you guys are about to hijack our conversation and go to something.
This is
education.
Yes.
Yeah, education.
Yeah.
But well, away from the education, let's just go calm down from this spicy food. I mean, we've had
It's already
spicy
hot.
food and it's hot.
Give me heartburn.
Like I'm almost sweating right now.
Thank God you say
from
almost.
just watching this clip. So let's take it to Ayo, and this is Simi giving it to us. Hot,
to
hot.
cool it down.
Just to cool
It's
it
not
down.
cooling it down.
No, it's cooling it down.
It's
but
cooling it
it's
down from
hot,
spicy
love.
food.
Hot love, cooling it down.
All right.
I'm done with you guys. still Rise and Shine Saturday on Spectrum TV. We've had a whole lot of activities in the studio today, and I know you enjoyed the show. But right now, we have our Artist of the Week. I thought I'll be hearing like round of applause everywhere.
We're excited. We're excited.
Yes. In the studio with us, we have J Voice, a gospel artist with us in the studio here, and myself and Uyai will be handling this section.
We're gonna be dissecting this section.
Yes.
Welcome, Mr. J Voice.
Thank you very much.
It's an honor to have you
My pleasure. Yeah, it's
on
pleasure.
set
Mine. Thank you.
on Rise and Shine Saturday.
Thank you very much.
Spectrum Television. How do you feel being with us on Spectrum TV?
You actually our first guest on Rise and
On
Shine.
Rise and Shine, yay!
So
Very
I'm
good.
actually going to go down to the history of Spectrum.
Come on now.
That's
To be
right.
the first.
Come on now.
It's a pleasure. I'm really glad to be here. I'm really glad and
Welcome,
honored to be
welcome,
here.
welcome.
Thank you very much.
So we know that you are a performing and recording artist, gospel artist,
Yeah.
who has a 13-track album to his name. So give us a little background about your music. What has it always been like for you?
Like you rightly said, my name is J Voice. I'm a gospel music artist, recording and performing as well.
Okay.
And like you also said, we have about 13 songs in the album. And we don't just sing alone, we have a couple of other things we do. Currently, we are the host of one of the biggest, I would say one of the biggest, because Raise the Praise is now a household name in Akwa Ibom State.
Wow.
We are looking at making it a national platform for worship. I mean, quality worship rendition to God. So Raise the Praise has been there for about 7 years now, and on the 21st of December, we're going to be doing the 7th edition.
Wow.
And then we've been doing the songs, we've been doing all these things, the albums. The album is tagged Raise the Praise album.
Oh,
That's the
lovely.
title of the album,
Okay.
yes. And the song's one of the hit songs. I think we're going to be playing the song after now. I'm just thinking, Legitimate God is one of the hit tracks.
Okay.
And then we also have My Ebenezer in the song. We have a couple of other things we are doing for God. But all these things are targeted at raising praises to the one and only God of heaven. And that's what we do.
I feel like shifting our chairs and giving him a podium. Preach, brother.
It comes with the gospel, right? Yeah.
I like, whenever I'm on set like this, I try to curtail my words so that I don't get into the realm and, begin
Come on now. Oh, my goodness.
That's what we do here.
So, for how many years have you been singing?
I started singing when I was very small and very teenage. At the age of
in church?
Yes, I started in church actually, and of course I like mentioning the name of my church, the Apostolic Church. They gave me the background about. I think I was 5 years old when I started, and then my mom told me enter the choir, enter the choir, enter. And I said I'm the smallest. I'm very small. I can't even sing. I said I know they are big. Enter. And that was the push I had. From then, it's been from glory to glory. And then I left my church kind of because there's this perception people have about my church, which is the Orthodox kind of setting where they sing soft, and then I went into school, I think senior science college then in Elna, and I got to hear another realm of music I got to love, where you saw me the other day. Sorry, I met you at the place, I think on Sunday, and we were doing what we know how to do best, and I got to enter this particular realm of music, which is contemporaries.
Oh, lovely.
Some couple of years ago, I think 2010 precisely. And 2010, I entered. I loved what I heard, and I started learning. And I brought out myself from the other part of music into this other one. That is giving me some small food.
Wow. Putting
small food on my table, and we've been doing it since 2012 professionally.
Wow. So to say that you just recently learned the contemporary style of music and you are doing as well as you're doing right now, I think that's really commendable.
It's commendable, but not commendable to me. It's commendable to God.
Talking about God, I would like to know, when you talk about gospel artists and music, it's very different from what we see in the world here. So what does it take to keep yourself on that path and give us sweet realm-taking music?
Realm-taking music. Thank you for taking on that word.
It's all about passion and drive.
Oh.
Now, what brought me into this is the passion to serve God with my gifting and talent. Initially, I wanted to be a medical doctor, but right now, I think I have about five consistent people at my event who are medical doctors. Every time they've been calling J-Voice. We want to be there. We want to be sponsors. Now, what am I saying? Education is not really played out on this, but calling and passion for what you do is what really keeps me in this thing. I've had a lot of offers where people come to and say, J-Voice, you can sing. You're wasting away in the apostolic church. You're wasting away in the gospel scenario. What are you doing singing gospel? You should come up and then let's do secular. I told them, actually, I would love to, personally, but it's about what I was called to do, which is gospel, and circulating the gospel through
music.
songs.
Yeah.
And nothing can take me. And no matter how much you give to me, it doesn't please me. It doesn't make me happy as much as I stood on you people's church and I was doing it with all my heart and to the one and only living God. That's what keeps me here. Otherwise, for long, I don't come out.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so something that I pay attention to when it comes to gospel music.
Okay.
I hear that there is a difference between gospel music ministry and the gospel music industry.
Okay.
Have you found yourself in that mix, and how have you been able to navigate?
I want to start this way to answer that question. One of my colleagues in the ministry or in the industry, let me use the word industry because that's what I want to talk about now, called me the other day. Okay, we had a session, we were talking, and I asked him, how far? I'll mention his name. He's Mirobet. He's a very popular person over here. And he asked me, he said, I think I asked him a question. I said, how about your event now? What's up? How are you doing it? He said, Oga, we are looking for 1 million. Once we have 1 million, we are able to fix it because it's a ticketed event. And I was like, are you giving tickets? He said, yes. But it's a gospel show. He said, yes. And then he said one thing that struck my mind. Till today, I won't forget it. He said, J-Voice, when they do gospel crusade, we are gospel artists and musicians. What we do is we look for money. And now, how I try to understand that was me, when I host events, the Raise the Praise we host, we put buses on strategic locations.
Okay.
We put not just 1, 2, 3. We make sure the whole of Akwa Ibom is covered. And now we bring people from different places in Akwa Ibom to the venue of the event. Now, why do I do that? I don't do that. The event, 1, is not ticketed. 2, we have very limited number of sponsors, which are members of our team, not outsiders. Mm-hmm. The reason is because I don't really have this capacity to go ask somebody, oh, I beg, we want to do this, and then you go stand in a queue and wait for some people. So what we do is we try to put together our resources, and then we hit it. The reason is because, 1, we want to gather people to worship God, and that is ministry, not industry.
So you are concentrating on music ministry.
It is ministry. Yeah. So the industry is the one we now do for the money, and then we say, okay, how much can we get?
Okay.
This event we want to host.
So you're saying that there is. So we are agreeing that there is a difference between music ministry and music industry.
Very big difference. When we talk about what the thing is bringing it back. What we are getting, what we are going to get, the income.
So, but I believe you cannot blame anyone for what part of the gospel sphere they choose, whether it's ministry or industry.
It's calling. Whatever you were called to do it perfectly. If you were called to do industry, please do it well.
Yeah.
In fact, employment.
Oh, I like the sound of that. If you were called to do industry, do it well.
Do it well. Employ managers, let them manage you. So we are in the ministry aspect of the.
Talking about employ managers and all of that, it brings me to ask you, younger generation of gospel artists, because I know you've had a journey and things that happen along that. What would you advise them to look out for?
Sorry, let me get that question again.
The younger generation of gospel artists, people who want to be a gospel artist like you, or maybe look up to you, what would you advise them?
Like we said, know your calling, know what you were called to do. If you're a gospel music artist, know what you were called to do. If you are called to be a minister, know it. If you are called to be a performer, like one of those days I went to an event, sorry to say this, I hope I have the time, Sha, because I like giving some of these illustrations. I went for an event and I really felt reluctant to go because once we have an event, we at least pray first. It's gospel. and to get a clarification to attend. I had this reluctancy to go. And then I finally struggled because boss, I beg. Any other way if you do, I beg. Please try and come. And I said, let me go. And then next thing I heard was, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome your voice. And then I went. I said, sir, you have 5 minutes. I don't even think it was up to 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes. Or they said you have 2 minutes. And then the next 2 minutes, so I'm supposed to now, let's welcome for his performance. And then I'm supposed to minister, and then performance is out too. So I get to, so what I would advise is know where you are good at. Know what you are called to do. Because if it's actually administration, it should take some time. And then let it really impact. So if you are coming into this thing, be straight. Know what you are called to do. And once you know it, ask the person that gave you the vision to give you the guidance and the direction on what to which is God.
So basically, just do your homework and get right. So away from music a little bit. So tell us about you, as you know, apart from music ministry, what do you do on the side? Are you married? Are we expecting
his face.
Are we expecting your pre-wedding photos or your baby dedication pictures?
My dear, if I would say, this is a very critical point. Right now, I'm getting very somber, you know. I can't really express the way I expressed before. But it's something it's a question I've always been encountering.
Oh my God.
People keep asking the question. But the fact is, marriage, not the relationship.
You had to change the tune for that. How serious.
Marriage is not a relationship. It's not boyfriend and girlfriend. So we are praying that God should.
Amen.
So, but you've been in the industry for several years. Has the Lord not heard your prayer?
I've actually been praying. That's all you see as the first time.
Thank you for being real this morning with us.
No, we are trying to gather the necessary. When the resources is there,
it's not
women need resources, and that's so we don't need to rush into it.
It's not a project in focus.
Definitely.
That's amazing.
But we are looking at it. But we are praying that God will find our missing rib and then bring it to us.
God will find your missing rib. Be there, please just be there. Keep waiting. So, what educational background did you have?
All right, I'm a professional conflict mediator, and presently I'm doing my MSc with National Open University.
That's
and I'm
impressive.
also a graphics designer. I do a lot of things.
Thank you so much for being with us on the show. So that was. I'd like to put it this way. That was Minister J Voice with us here on Spectrum Television Saturday edition of Rise and Shine. We've had a good time with him, hearing, what he does and a little bit about his music. So we'll treat you to something that he's worked on.
Thomas? You seem particularly triggered right now. Can you tell me what happened?
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams.
Am I crazy? We don't use that word in here.
Have we met? One pill makes you larger and one pill makes you small, and the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall.
Time to fly.
If you want the truth, Neo, you're going to have to follow me.
The only thing that matters to you is still here. I know it's why you're still fighting and why you will never give up. You don't know me, no?
after all these years, to be going back to where it all started. Back to the Matrix.
I have a question for you. I want you to think carefully before you answer. Lọ́sẹ̀ kan sísìn, ọmọkùnrin yẹn àti ọmọ yín kẹ́ rí wọn ní ìgbéyàwó tàbí kẹ́ gbọ́ ìròyìn wípé ọmọkùnrin náà fò ṣánlẹ̀ òkú. Èwo lẹ fẹ́?
Mama, we need to see you. Adekunle, but they full any ori.
Makanaki ṣe nǹkan ṣe ẹ́ ni.
You have drawn the battle line.
Stand him up.
You have stepped on the tail of the tiger.
I am Laburu. God's worst punishment in a person.
And yes, this is still Rise and Shine Saturday on Spectrum TV, and we have been having such an amazing time. I mean, if you listen to Jeff's voice, then you know there's a distinction between being a gospel minister and actually being in the gospel music industry. I mean, I learned a lot from that research. Very interactive session. You girls did an amazing job.
Thank you. I felt like we should have just kept J Voice. Let's have like mini crusade. And,
Oh,
you
my
know,
goodness.
Because he was like, power, rooms. I was like, brother.
Amazing.
Hallelujah.
So on a wind down, a way to get people to relax.
Yeah.
So we have some movies in view, movies that you can watch for the weekend. I think for me, top of it is King of Boys.
I knew you were gonna go there. King of
Emily?
Boys is there. For me, I think I'll go for Squid Game and the new one about Akia and Popo. I think I'll actually
Yes,
go
that's
for
something
those
to look
two.
out for. I
Squid
saw the
Game
trailer
Akia.
and it was
Yeah.
intriguing. I like to relive childhood memories again and watch Aki and Popo.
In the 21st century, and I think there's Matrix: The Resurrection.
Yeah.
so
Matrix.
And there's what's that guy? Is that very popular? You know, after they die for film. That he never dies, but he dies in this.
I can't remember this.
No time to die.
No time to
But he died this time, so praise God.
Hallelujah.
Not praise God in a bad way, but he never used to die.
He's actually alive, though.
Okay, so those are the movies that you can look out for this weekend.
Yeah.
Yes, beautiful. It's been a really packed one here this morning.
I've had a swell time on the show today. I
time.
have laughed my cheeks.
Like being in the midst of you two ladies, a blonde and this beautiful black lady. I mean, it's just.
Francis, say that again. I wasn't ready. Let's do that.
Do we have time to take something handy for today?
We don't have handy time.
No more time.
We'll have a handy time
All
outside.
day serving hot. I mean, it was just hot.
Okay, so let's
settle for now.
So, Favor, please give us your closing words.
This is Rise and Shine Saturday. I remain Favor Abal and I had an amazing time on the show. You don't need to go anywhere on Saturday morning. You see this face? It's here for you every Saturday with this one.
All right, and I'm Francis Aiden. I'm always super excited to be here with you on Rise and Shine Saturday. Remember to love yourself and know that you are the most important person in the world.
Right, brother?
Oh my God. I would really have loved to stay longer and just with you longer, but this is how far we can go on Rise and Shine Saturday. It's been a really beautiful ride this morning. We hope that you do enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Follow us on all our socials, Spectrum TV NG, and on our website, SpectrumTV.ng, and join the conversation. Stay with us. It's still Spectrum Television. Have a blessed and good rest of your weekend. It's bye-bye from Malibu.
Bye-bye. I want to go shake body.
Hi everybody, this is Becky Bernard. You're on to Rise and Shine. Hello Nigeria, welcome to Rise Shine show. My name is Eltibasi Tom.
This is Rise and Shine. My name is